Welcome fellow gamers, Freddy the Boss here. Today is Tuesday and it's time for the versus episode, but before I get down to business, and I don't want to drag this video for a really long time, hit me up guys on the Spartan Brotherhood server. A privilege of ISO, a really good friend and subscriber of mine. Here's the picture, Operation Metro Locker 24/7. So hit me up there. Remember to change your clan tag to C7. If you don't have a C7 clan tag or platoon tag, you're probably gonna get kicked for to make spot for another member. So hit me up there. This is gonna be up for at least the next month. So today guys, I'm gonna be reviewing and putting versus against each other the SR-2 and the AsVal, both of these PDWs, and it's kind of a PDW week. And stay tuned and for tomorrow's episode, where I'm gonna be reviewing the fastest PDW, the CZ3A1. Crazy fucking RPM, 1000 RPM on that gun. So back to the SR-2 and the AsVal, 900 RPM as you can see at your screens right now. Both of these weapons have around the same damage, a little bit of different damage model, 26 to 12.1 for the SR-2. AsVal damage is 30 to 16. So along with that, the first thing you can absorb, what the fuck did I just say? The first thing you observe is that the AsVal is a bit better for high range, long range kills, but there's the carbines for that in my opinion. So if you want to be using a really high RPM, high damage PDW, probably go for a carbine. Since you're using the engineer class, you can use the carbines no problemo. So moving on to this is really important, the mag capacity, 31 bullet standard capacity for the SR-2 and 21 for the AsVal, and that's basically the biggest downside of this weapon. If it had 31 bullets, it would down people really fast, but with that ridiculous 21 bullets, it's just dumb. Moving on to the reload time, the SR-2 has a little bit longer reload time, definitely on the high side. 2.6 short reload time and 3.5 long reload time, where the AsVal has a really short reload time, 1.95 and 3 seconds for the long one. You're probably going to be doing the long one, so 3 seconds, it's kinda important. Try to at least have one bullet in the mag so you can avoid that extra second. And moving on to the recoil, as you can see at the very start over here, the recoil on the SR-2 and the AsVal are really different patterns. The ADS hipfire and the hipfire IQ spreads are exactly the same, so I'm not gonna go into detail about that. We're gonna stay in the recoil side of the things. The first bullet recoil on the AsVal is just crazy, 3.5, and a vertical recoil of 0.4. So in general, this weapon is crazy vertical recoil. If you can manage that, I personally can manage that. If you can't manage that, the AsVal, it's not for you. Where the SR-2 is the exact opposite, pretty low recoil for a 900 RPM weapon, 0.29. First bullet recoil is 2.3, pretty normal. But the side-to-side recoil is kinda dumb, 0.45 for both sides, so that means this weapon recoils left and right like a motherfucker randomly, so you can't decide if it's gonna recoil left or right. It's gonna recoil left and right like crazy. So definitely, along with the damage model, the SR-2 is a close quarter situation weapon. That's why it thrives in Operation Metro, Operation Locker, Conquest, now that we have rented servers. While the AsVal has a little bit of weird recoil, recoil is negative, like it recoils minus 0.4, that means that it recoils 0.4 on the right and minus 0.1. So this weapon in general drags to the right side, while the SR-2 drags all over the place. But if you got a compensator, you can pretty much absorb that, like a big percentage of that, and still do really good with the SR-2. Out of those weapons, I would probably go for the SR-2 to be aggressive, and I would probably use the AsVal solely for longer ranges, even though you can always use a carbine. So out of the two, I would prefer the SR-2, and for the damage pattern of the AsVal, I would definitely go for a carbine, even though the carbines don't have that kind of recoil. So it depends, it doesn't have, the carbines don't have that nice hipfire accuracy. So I don't think I have anything else to say. Stay tuned for tomorrow's episode guys, and that was about it for me guys. Remember to hit that like button and hit me up on Facebook and Twitter too, and as always, stay boss. I'm out.